Hey guys, so today we're going to look at cells, specifically plant and animal cells. We're opening here with a picture of a plant cell. All of the organelles are simply the parts of a cell. All of them are labeled here for you. We will go over them in greater detail in class, but make sure you copy down the labeling that you see there. Same thing with the animal cell. Of course, the main difference being, of course, a plant cell is in a plant, an animal cell is in animals. As being a part of the human species, of course, are part of the animals as well. So we have animal cells as well. So cells, in the microscope was invented in 1590, which enabled the discovery of cells. So, of course, up to this point, everything was observed with the naked eye, sometimes with the use of like a handheld magnifying lens, but not really magnified to what we needed to be able to see in order to discover cells. So Robert Hooke was one of the first people to look at cells. He made his own microscope, and he looked at bark from a cork tree. So upon looking at that, he actually looked at the cork itself and saw that there were small chambers inside of the cork, and he said that they resembled small rooms. So therefore, he coined the term cells from that. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he was one of the first scientists to look at animal cells. He found organisms in pond water. So again, this isn't something new to us. We know that these things are actually called protists or eukaryotic cells. Back then when he discovered them, he thought that they resembled small animals, so he called them animalcules. The cell theory developed by Schleiden, Schwann, and Virchow. Cells are the basic unit of structure and function in living things. All living things are made of cells, and all cells come from existing cells. And we're going to talk about the importance of this a little later on. So these are break down a few of these cell parts. The nucleus, of course, is the control center. It's like the brain of the cell. The cell wall, exactly as the name suggests, it's a wall around plant cells. It protects the cell. It's very rigid. Cytoplasm, that's the jelly-like substance that fills the cell. The endoplasmic reticulum is a network of passages for carrying materials in the cell, similar to like a road or a highway system. The Golgi body receives material from the endoplasmic reticulum and sends it out to the rest of the cell. Ribosomes produce proteins inside the cells, similar to like a factory. Chloroplasts absorb sunlight for photosynthesis, in other words, making food, and this, of course, is only in the plant cell. And a vacuole is a sac for storing water, food, and waste. Cell membrane protects cells and regulate what comes in or out of the cell. A mitochondrion or a mitochondria, you'll see it spelled both ways, produce energy for the cell, similar to a power plant. Lysosomes break down food particles and worn out cell parts. Now, there are two organelles that are found in plant cells but not in animal cells. Those are chloroplasts and cell wall. Chloroplasts, primarily because, of course, plants have to make their own food, so they need these chloroplasts in order to go through the process of photosynthesis. Cell wall, the reason they have that is exactly as we talked about. The cell wall has to be rigid. It has to be so that things don't go in and out of the cell, especially water, essential for a plant's life, or for the life of a plant. So again, those two things that are found only in a plant. There's one organelle that is not in an animal cell, but one organelle that is in an animal cell but not in a plant cell. Those are the lysosomes, and we're going to talk about more about what they do. Now we have an animal cell and a plant cell side by side, just so you can see a lot of the similarities that are there, but also some of the major differences. And we'll discuss it a little bit more in class. Thanks for watching.